Mamma mia! Milan looks scary. Now you see, this summer, Allegri returned to Milan. A move that raised a few eyebrows worldwide, especially after his underwhelming stint at Juventus. Many thought he was out of touch, he was a dinosaur, and the game's forgotten him. But you see, at Milan, Allegri looks reborn. Forget the tactics, please. Forget the tactics for a second. The biggest thing that Allegri has brought back to Milan is the feel-good factor. And the feel-good factor is so important in football. It can decide a team's fate. The squad looks alive again. Players are smiling, fighting for each other. And most importantly, they want to play for Allegri. We've seen this in the Asia preseason tour. Now let's just say that wasn't the vibe last season under Fonseca or Conceição. And it's made settling into life at Milan so much more easier for star man, for star boy, Massimiliano Ricci, who's already transforming Milan's midfield. And the funny thing is, Ricci has said it himself. When speaking about Allegri, we have a good connection. We're both Tuscans, and we understand each other quite well. He's also played in my position, and he knows all the secrets. He corrects me and helps me on a daily basis. Now we can all see it through Ricci's performances. He looks confident, composed, and completely at home. You'd never think this dude was a brand new signing that's only been at Milan for a month. Look at how quick he's settled in and how quick he's having an impact. Allegri's return may have started off with doubt, but now it's beginning to feel like destiny. Let's just say my Serie A predictions video is going to be crazy if Milan keep performing like this and they keep winning. Milan look terrifying. Milan have just beaten Perth Glory 9-0. Perth Glory 9-0. And it could have been 14, 15, 16. Now, before anybody turns around and says, relax, mate, it's only Perth Glory. Yes, it's only Perth Glory. But when it comes to preseason, in my opinion, there are some things that you have to focus on, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the scoreline. Preseason is preseason. It's an opportunity for you to up your fitness, but it's also an opportunity for a coach to understand his players, for a coach to show us how well he can utilize those players, in what areas, what can he get out of those players, which players are growing under his wing. And it's also an opportunity for us to see a manager's tactics, his in-game management, how well he can adapt to changes, whether it's substitutions, injuries, how well he can utilize the first team, the second team, the third team. And I feel like Allegri in particular has done really well in pre-season. He's done really well. He's built a connection with these players that we've seen game after game after game. The players have bought into Allegri game after game after the game. The new signings have fit in from day dot, which means once the Serie A campaign starts, these dudes can have an impact from game week 1. Milan fans are not going to be sat looking at Ricci thinking, are you going to come good by Halloween? Are you going to come good by Christmas? Maybe Easter? No. The kid is already playing his game and he is balling out. Like, I'm going to dedicate a segment to him because I want to prove to everybody that preseason is not preseason when it comes to Massimiliano Ricci. His performances have been game-changing for Milan. But for me, Milan have hit the jackpot on 2 things this summer. One, they won in the Club World Cup, which means they get themselves an extra 2-3 weeks of preseason, which Allegri has made full use of and he's taken it to his advantage. When you look at them today, 4-3-3, out of possession, 4-4-2. The other day it was the 3-5-2, the 4-5-1 shape of the ball. Milan are buying into Allegri and Allegri's getting something out of these players. And it doesn't matter. Once again, it doesn't matter. Empoli, Perth Glory, Cagliari, Roma, Milan Derby. These things have to remain constant. These things have to be applied game after game after game. And that's why I always turn around and tell you guys, I understand it's pre-season, but there's still some things that you can pick up which give you an indication as to how well this team is going to perform in the Serie A. Now, Massimiliano Ricci, wow. Well, the first jackpot was they had themselves an extended pre-season. The second jackpot, securing Massimiliano Ricci. This kid genuinely looks like the leader of this team, the orchestrator, and this is what Milan truly needed. Somebody that can drop deep, somebody that can connect the dots, somebody that's so comfortable in those tight areas, but somebody that's got an eye for a pass. I love watching him. I genuinely love watching him. But let me just break down to you guys why he's performing so well and why regardless of the fact that it's preseason, he's actually showcasing his quality. Now, let's start off with today's game. Perth Glory, Massimiliano Ricci comes off the bench. Everybody's going to turn around and say, wow, what a goal. True, what an amazing goal. Massimiliano Ricci came on, and he was the only player on the pitch, throughout all the players that participated, he was the only player on the pitch to have a 100% pass accuracy. So every single pass that he made found a teammate. Now, some of you might turn around and be like, let's play devil's advocate. Some of you might turn around and say, but Haj, every time he gets the ball, he just passes it sideways and backwards. No, a 100% pass accuracy with 11 passes into the opposition final third. Allegri's even told him, if you go back and look at what Ricci said after the game against Liverpool, he said, Allegri instructs us, no sideways passes. Once you get the ball, go over the top. Make the forward pass because we've got fast swingers and we need to utilize their physicality. A 100% pass accuracy. 11 forward passes. Okay, let's play devil advocate once again. Haj, it's Perth Glory. Can he do it against the far superior teams? Now, when it comes to the Arsenal game, a 97% pass accuracy. He gave the ball away once with 9 forward passes against an Arsenal team very similar to Liverpool. They had 7 or 8 first team players starting. Why? I want to emphasize the point to you guys that this kid is doing so well, and it's genuinely the beginning of something really special or something really scary in a good way. It's the fact that, one, he is the new recruit. You don't really expect many new recruits to hit the ground running. 2, he's a new recruit in a new environment, in a new team, making the far bigger step up from Torino to Milan while still having to work under a new manager. He's basically in an environment where he's not comfortable in. Like, there's so many factors that can drive down his performances. From a new coach, a new formation, new teammates, new shirt on his chest. Yet this kid is going out there in every preseason game, balling out, balling out, balling out. And he's genuinely beginning to look like the glue of this team. Milan, Tare, they got him for what? 22, 25 million? He, at the moment, he's genuinely looking like a serious contender for signing of the season. But anyways, on to more better news. The feel-good factor. I mentioned it at the beginning. Now, how many, like, if any of you guys have watched me for long enough, you always know when I speak on new coaches, I always tell you guys, focus on the results. Focus on the tactics. Focus on the style of play. Focus on the in-game management. Focus on their relationships with players. Do they come out and publicly bash them, or do they come out and publicly defend them, speak highly of them, support them? But I always tell you guys, remember the 6th thing. Judge managers on how well they can utilize your best players. That's what the best of coaches do. They might have amazing tactics. They might have an amazing style of play. They might get you results here and there. You always have to look at a coach and say, how well can you utilize our most prized of assets? How well can you utilize and get something out of this team's best player? When I looked at somebody like Fonseca, he couldn't get anything out of Milan's best players. He couldn't get anything out of Theo Hernandez. He couldn't get anything out of Rafa Leao. The only person that he managed to get something out of, and it wasn't even on a consistent basis, was Tijani Reinders. When Conceição came in my opinion, he didn't get much out of Rafa Leao. Hardly got anything out of Theo Hernandez. Tijani Reinders, once again, not really on a consistent of basis. January recruit, Santi Jimenez, couldn't get much out of him. Joao Felix, the player that he wanted, couldn't get anything out of him. And even Pulisic, who was arguably Milan's player of the season up until Conceição came in. What does Conceição get out of him? Nothing. There was even periods where he was putting him on the bench to play somebody like Joao Felix. When I look at Allegri, I feel like he's coming to Milan and he's automatically understood the assignment. It's like he sat back and watched Fonseca and watched Conceição's downfall and been like, you guys consistently come out and bash the players. Now, at the end of the day, if you disagree with a player, if you feel like a player has wronged you, keep it private. Keep it behind closed doors between you and the player. You don't need to share it with the media. Allegri, he's come out and the first thing he's done, every single player that has ever been mentioned in any press conference, he's spoken highly of them and he says we trust them and there's a place for them and they can bring this and they can bring that. Allegri is getting the most out of his current Milan players, the best players. You look at the way he's utilising Rafa Leao. You look at the way he's utilising Rafa Leao. Rafa Leao in the past 12 months has had 2 coaches that didn't know how to get anything out of him. Publicly, they never spoke highly of him. Like, it got to a period where he was painted out as the victim. You look at Allegri. Allegri, who in my opinion requires far more discipline than the other 2. He's come in and the first thing he's done is make sure you are my best player. You are my second best player and you are my third best player. I'm going to make sure this team is built around you guys and this team plays to your strength and this team hides any deficiencies you guys may have. When I look at Allegri, like, guys, I'm about to make a video on Rafa Leão. Rafa Leão is scoring headers. Rafa Leão is running into slide tackles. Rafa Leão, while still coming off the bench and knowing that the game is 5-0 and it's dead and buried. Like, Milan have won this game. There's nothing that can happen for Perth Glory to come back into this game. So many players take their foot off the gas. Rafa Leão is coming off the bench, giving 100% because Allegri is getting that 100% out of him. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I wasn't really too big of a fan of this Allegri appointment from a tactical perspective. But in terms of his man management, in terms of his player utilization, and I feel like the fact that he's modernized his tactics, I really like what I've seen of Milan at the moment during this preseason tour in Asia. But time will tell. Time will tell. Now, if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on another one.